All right, shalom, shalom. Kahalayim La Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Much peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful elect that's pushing this word and truth to sincerity of heart. Shalom. This is the brother of a top back again through the spirit with another lesson in Lord willing. This lesson is edifying. Um, as you can see, I was typing in some things on the chat GPT. First I typed in what is a God complex, and this is uh, what it said. The God complex is a psychological term that describes when a person believes they have unlimited power, authority, or ability, as if they were a god. It says, in simple terms, it means someone thinks they're always right, can't be questioned, and see themselves superior to others. So that's what a God complex is, according to the Chat GPT. And this lesson was inspired because of a video that I was watching, um, and it just made me think about this word God complex because that's exactly what Esau Edom has. He has a God complex. But as you can see, as I'm gonna get into, he has a wicked God complex, and I'm Lord willing, the chat is gonna describe that very well as well. Um, so forgive me, I am in transit, so just bear with me. All right, the key traits of a God complex. It says arrogance. They believe they're above rules or criticism. Control. They want total control over people or situations. Lack of empathy. They ignore others' feelings or needs. Now, you stop me when you tell me this don't sound like Esau. Even before I even put in, the word wicked God complex. Esau has a God complex altogether, but I'm pretty sure the wicked is going to describe him a little bit more. It says a grandi, I'm sorry, grandiosity. Forgive me if I'm saying that word wrong. They ignore others' feeling. I'm sorry. They exaggerate their intelligence, importance, or influence. Does not Esau do that? He exaggerate his intelligence like he's so smart, and he came up with all these great inventions, and he's this and he's that. He puts himself up on a pedestal, think they such superior, that their race is superior, but really it's not. Refusal to admit mistakes. They never take responsibility or believe they can be wrong. Does that not describe Esau Edom for those that are in the know? For those the prophets and men that understand, that know Esau, know his ways, know his tactics. So when you go to the word, what is a wicked God complex? It says a wicked God complex takes the idea of a God complex and twists it with malice, cruelty, or corruption. Now that's exactly what Esau does. He's all about malice, cruelty, and corruption. Look at the government of the United States. Many people, you ask many people in this world, in the US, is the government corrupt? You know what they're going to say? 9 times out of 10, more than 50% of the people are going to say yes. You see? And that's just asking the people. Ask somebody, is the government corrupt? There are going to be some people out there that believe in the government, but a mass majority of them don't because they believe that the government is corrupt. And that is the fruit of Esau's labor. This is what happened when you let someone with a wicked mind and the wicked God complex rule. They're going to corrupt everything, they're going to do things with malice. Well, let's look up the word malice and corruption. Malice. It says to desire to hurt another. Um, Propensity to inflict injury or suffering, act active ill will, wickedness, ill will, spite, sinfulness, badness. See, that's what malice is. Let's look up corruption, because you can't tell me Esau don't do that. Corruption, an act of being putrid, decay, um, wickedness, depravity, corruption, spoiling, seducing a corrupt condition, to destroy, spoil. So basically, wickedness, if you will. because America's, America's is a corrupt society, and it's ruled by corrupt people. Cruelty. Let's look up the word cruelty. It says indifferent. Um, it says the indifference to or pleasure taken in the distress or suffering of any sentient being. Esau takes pleasure in the suffering of the people. Rude, unfeeling, cruel, hard-hearted, rough, raw, bloody, a cruel act. America has been given over to a cruel Lord, which the scriptures speak about the cruel Lord in Isaiah 19. We believe that to be your current president, President slash King Trump. He's a cruel Lord, man. Esau is all about cruelty. So these things describe Esau, the enemy. So it says, it's when someone not only believes they are godlike, but uses the belief to harm, dominate, and manipulate others. And that's exactly what Esau do on the world stage. He uses his power, he uses his control and influence and military to dominate, to manipulate everybody, and cause harm to people. That's why the nations are rising up against him. So it says here's what that looks like in detail. Traits of a wicked God complex. It says delight in control. They don't just want power, they enjoy seeing others obey or suffer under it. Think about it. They like seeing they want you to obey or suffer. You know, they want you to be good servants. And that's what's going to come into fruition. That's going to come to realization when he pushes that chip, that micro C hip. 2, it says moral corruption. They believe their actions are justified no matter how evil, because a God can do it. A God can do no wrong. So scripture says they hold themselves not guilty. Not guilty. They always justify themselves. Zechariah 11 and 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So they don't ever think that they could do any wrong. They slay people, they murder people, and they hold themselves not guilty. They're morally corrupt. They believe their actions are justified no matter how evil, because a God can do no wrong. See? Their actions are always wicked or always evil, but they don't believe they're doing anything wrong. What they call it? Plausible deniability? I believe that's what it's called. They'll do something. Wait, I believe that's the right word, right? They'll do something dead wrong, and they'll deny it to save face, if you will. Even though they did it, they'll lie to you. They'll deny it like they didn't do it, because they know it in the back of their minds is wrong. So that's why they have to pull out schemes like plausible deniability. They know they did something, but they deny it because they're afraid of the accountability that comes with it. So that's just one of Esau's tactics of how he can get out of something, get out of jail free card, or get out of explaining something. You know, 3, playing judge and executioner. They decide who deserves to live or die or suffer, often with no mercy or fairness. And that's going to come more into fruition once that Marco C hip is passed. Because one of their mottos is maintain humanity under 500 million. They want to decide who lives or who dies. Because if you don't take the micro C hip, they're gonna put you to death. Real quick precept: the scriptures tells you, if you don't want to follow the beast and his system, you're gonna be put to death. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't want to follow after this system, this MOTB system, this that he's setting up, You don't want to be a part of his system. You're going to be a target of the system, you know? So if you don't want to follow, you don't want to take his C-hip, you're basically going to be executed. You're going to be killed because of it. So playing judge and executioner, they decide who deserves to live. So the people that quote unquote take the C-hip, in their eyes, they deserve to live because they want to follow after the system. But those that don't want to take the C-hip, they're going to be ones that are going to be X'd out, if you will. 4, deception and manipulation. They twist truth and morality. I'm sorry. Yeah, morality to serve their own ego or agenda. They twist the truth and morality to serve their own ego and agenda. Is that not the truth? They twist the truth. They turn the truth into a lie. An example of that is the incident that happened in 911. You know what that means? They won't tell the truth because it goes right along with their agenda. They wanted to, raid these different countries and, steal people's resources. They wanted an excuse. They twist the truth, man. Because Esau is all about lies. His whole society, everything when it comes to Esau, Edom, it's all about lies, man. You can't expect them to tell you the truth. So they lie because it goes right along with their agenda. Lack of empathy, they see people as tools, toys, or pawns, not as equals of or beings with feelings. Ooh, what the elite call us? Useless eaters. They say they want to maintain humanity under 500 million. Um, um, so they basically see the people as worthless. They want to maintain humanity under 500 million. That means you want to kill billions of people. They tell you all the time how they feel about you. They don't really care about nobody but themselves. You know, but that's where they're wrong at because the glory of a kingdom is its people. The scriptures tell you that. Is it 28:2? The glory of the a kingdom is its citizens. For the transgression of the land made a prince there, but many understand knowledge state thereof shall be prolonged. Wait, it might be the NLT version that says it. I remember seeing it. Somebody brought out that precept. No, wrong. The glory of the kingdom is its people. Let's see. Glory of a kingdom is its citizens. Scripture. Nope, nope, nope. Thought it was in Proverbs. Ah, damn it. I don't know where that scripture's at. I should have wrote it down. Forgive me. Let's see. Damn, I might not know if I find this scripture. Well, I can, but it might not be phrased like that. It might not be written like the glory of the people, the glory of the kingdom is the people, or speak about the king and his subjects, or the king and the people. But let's see. Here it is. Kahalayim Malaya Bashar Shah. Proverbs 14 and 28. It says, a growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing. So Esau wants to get rid of a lot of people, but really the glory of a kingdom is the people. Okay, look at his dumbass. All right, so it says, in the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of the people is but in the want of the people is the destruction of the prince. So a growing population is a king's glory, because you who you gonna rule over? If Esau kills everybody, who the hell who you gonna rule over, man? But Esau don't like a growing population. He's all about depopulation. He's all about killing millions of people, billions of people, because of his wicked God complex. So let's go back. It says a lack of empathy, see people as tools, toys, or pawns, not as equals of beings with feelings. Punishment for disobedience, they react harshly when their authority or divinity is questioned. And that's when it comes to Esau. Hell yeah, that's what he does, man. Question his decisions, what he do. He gonna try to get rid of you, man. Especially when you go up the chain of command. When it goes to the leaders of, who really rule this world. They react harshly when you question their authority, if you will. It says, example archetypes. A ruler who kills or punishes without remorse because they see themselves as divine. Esau. A scientist experiment on human believing they're creating perfection. They have done that to our people, performing experiments. It says a cult leader who convinces followers they were serving a living God um, themselves. In essence, a wicked God complex is ego without compassion, power without conscience, and authority without accountability. The belief that one's own will alone defines right and wrong. So that's exactly what Esau does. You know, 2nd Esdras 15 and 6, it says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So wickedness has polluted the whole earth because of Esau, Edom, um, the so-called white man. He's the a man of sin. He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and he takes his wicked God complex, and he rules the world with that. Malachi 1 and um 4. It says, whereas Edom says we are impoverished. Hold on. Yeah, it says, whereas Edom, so-called Esau, Edom, so-called white man, said we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath right indignation forever. So the border of wickedness means what? Gabawal comes from the Hebrew word Gabawal, which means the territory of the wicked. So wherever Esau goes, he spreads his wicked God complex, and we're seeing that in the earth, and we're seeing that play out right now. It's getting worse and worse. You know, Esau puts himself up as a god, but he's not a god. But he's trying to achieve godlike status with his technology. With that micro C hit, man. He got cameras everywhere. You know, they want to watch everything. They want to be in control of all of your finances. That's somebody with a wicked God complex. And we're seeing that present in this society because it's ruled by the wicked, man. You see, everything lines up. Everything points to Edom because that's who we are. That's who he is. And we are seeing the fruits of his labors, man. So that's why we're ready for Yahweh Shai, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, to come back and put an end to all of this mess, man. So Esau has a wicked God complex. You know, see, the real gods of the Israelites. Ah, perfect scripture, heart of God. Yep. The water Yahweh Shemel Shah said, "Thy heart is the heart of God." The book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel, Ezekiel. See, uh, here it is. Ezekiel 20:81. The word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God, and in the midst of the seas. Yea, thou art a man, and not the Most High. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. So this is talking about Esau. You know, this is talking about Esau. He has that God complex. But guess what? It's not in righteousness, it's in wickedness. It says, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. You know, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten riches, and thou hast gotten gold and silver unto thy treasure. So this is talking about Esau. By the great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. So this is what the Lord is going to judge Esau because of his, because of all of the, really, he got all his riches in by deception and robbery, and so this is the scripture to back up that Esau has what? The mind of a guy. Which you go by that Hebrew word heart. Hebrew word for heart is lob, which means a mind. So he has a mind of God, but it's not in righteousness. It's completely in wickedness. Esau didn't get nothing by justly gained. He got it by ill. All he got is ill-gotten gains. Sirach chapter 10 in verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's exactly how Esau got his power. He got his riches by deceit, fraud, deception, robbery. Give me control of a nation's money and I care not who make the laws. You see? So this is the fruits. We're seeing the fruits of the wicked God complex that Esau Edom has, man. And we ready for Yahweh Shai to put an end to it. So Esau has the heart of a God, but it's not in righteousness, it's in wickedness because he is the wicked. That's who the Prince of Tyrus is. It's talking about Esau. The scriptures speak about him being wiser than Daniel, and that's exactly who it's talking about, Esau. So Lord willing, real soon Yahweh Shah is going to take over, and the true gods of the earth are going to rule in righteousness, and justice and fairness, and everything that comes with the law. Because when it comes to rulership, the society collapses because people don't rule right. Habakkuk chapter 3, 1 verse 4. It says, Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth, for the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. See? Because wrong judgment is going to push forth in the earth because of who's ruling. Because the people follow the vibration of the ruler, and the ruler is completely wicked. So nothing good is ever going to come from this type of society. Somebody with a wicked God complex. And there have been many examples of heathen nations that have ruled the same way Esau is ruling. But Esau does shit the worst because he's the worst of the heathen. He's the most wicked. So with that, Lowell Lynn's quick lesson was edifying. I'm going to close out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone who rule it each well. Lowell Lynn, it says, lesson was edifying. Shalom.